And right now, you're looking live at the United Center in Chicago this morning. In 4 days, the Democratic National Convention will kick off, and law enforcement is on high alert ahead of that big event, working to try and prevent clashes between protesters and police, like the one we just saw in New York. Joining me now is the former superintendent for the Chicago Police Department, Eddie Johnson. Mr. Johnson, good morning.
Good morning, Nick. Thanks for having me.
You know, we've talked to you about security concerns when there are big events in the city of Chicago in the past. We know that Monday will have all the world looking at Chicago. And we also know that a crowd of pro-Palestinian protesters stormed into that Harris campaign fundraiser at an after party in New York City, clashing with police, several arrests made. Is this a preview of what we can expect to see in Chicago next week, or do you believe Chicago will have a better handle on things?
Well, I think it is a preview of what we can potentially see. I know that the Chicago Police Department has been working diligently for the last 6 or 7 months to train their officers to be prepared for protests such as this. And let's remember, you know, there's no such thing as 100% security. And along with the fact that indoor security is a lot easier than outdoor security. You know, so you're never going to have it 100%. But I do think that we're going to probably see some clashes with the police out there during this time.
Now, the Chicago Police Department and other law enforcement agencies have had more than a year to prepare for this event, including seeing how college campuses responded to their demonstrations on their campuses. What has the department learned from those protests?
I mean, when you look at protests that happen before you have to actually do your due diligence for your particular event, you look at the flavor of it, the potential for violence, and you start to work towards those things to prepare your officers, because the most critical people out there on that front line are going to be the supervisors, the sergeants, and lieutenants. And the reason is because they have to monitor those officers and monitor those skirmish lines. And if you see cops that are getting really agitated, then those supervisors, they have a duty to pull those cops off the front line so that we don't have police violence against the protesters. You know, let's remember, they have a right to protest with the First Amendment, but they don't have a right to turn a protest into a riot. And so that's what we have to be careful of.
Eddie Johnson, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.